Hey guys, so today I'm going to do this open box on this little generator that I picked up for a project that I'm going to be doing. Um, Basically, this is not really what I wanted to do, but the location of where I got to work on a boat trailer is remote. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have any power available at that location. Now, I could have tried to use all battery powered tools, but because I may want to bring my air compressor and stuff like that to that location, I wanted to give this thing a whirl. This was 200 bucks on Amazon. It was probably one of the cheapest gas generators they had. There's a couple of different styles of this thing. I think they come with slightly different motors, but in general, this one here seemed like it was the best out of the cheap pick, if you want to say that. So the name of it is a Pulsar. It's got 1200 watt peak power and 900 watt rated power. So we'll see how that pans out. It's got the little two-stroke motor. Let me see here. It's got two 120 volt AC outlets on it, whereas some of them only had one 120 volt AC outlet. It's got a two-stroke 71 cc motor. I've seen some that said they have 60 something cc motors on it. This one had 71. And that's at 3600 RPMs. Operating noise is 65 decibels, which that doesn't seem too bad. Included 12 volt battery charging. Includes 12 volt battery charging. So while it's running, you got probably somewhere on there where you can charge a 12 volt battery on it. Cables. Oh, included 12 volt battery charging cables. I thought it was a thing, but yeah. So you can hook up cables to this thing, plug them in, and charge a 12 volt battery on it. Runs 8.5 hours. So 8.5 hours, and that's at a half load. So basically, if you're not, I guess it might have a throttle on it or something because it's gas. So at about half throttle, it's saying it should run for about 8.5 hours. EPA approved. So I don't believe the gas tank is really that big on it. So if this thing can run 8 hours on a half a tank of gas, that's pretty good. Now, once again, I didn't buy this for longevity. I don't plan on using this daily. This is just something to allow me to work on something remotely, and then I don't know if I'll keep it or end up selling it. I honestly don't know. It does seem kind of handy, but I'm just thinking long-term storage. I'd have to drain all the fuel out of it, make sure all the fuel's out of the bowl and stuff, because if I don't use this for a long period of time, I'm assuming that, it's probably gonna maybe corrode up or something like that. So I guess time will tell, but hey, for 200 bucks, I think this was my best option. So let's open this thing up and see actually what it looks like inside. Then I'll probably go to the gas station, fill it up, and then we'll start it up and see how it sounds. So. And like Amazon is usually good at stuff, this thing came in within like a day or two, so I didn't have to really wait at all for this thing. Super quick delivery times. So, alright. So they give you a 40-to-1 mixing ratio on here because it is two-stroke, so you're going to have to mix some oil with the gas. Excuse me, I'm pretty sure it comes with a little thing of oil with it, but after you go through that first one, you're probably going to have to just go out to like Walmart or somewhere and buy some more two-stroke oil, and then add the oil in prior to adding the fuel. That way it mixes in the unit. Okay, you get a repair manual, no, an operator's manual, repair manual, I'm already breaking it. And it looks like a spark plug wrench. So you get a wrench to remove the plug, and your operating manual. This is your 12 volt charging cable. So one end plugs in directly into your 120 outlet, and then the other two, they give you the little alligator clips to clip onto a 12 volt battery, whether it's a car battery, motorcycle battery, RV battery. It gives you a little handle here for the unit. I'm assuming somewhere there's screws. A measuring cup. This is probably for the 2-stroke oil if you want to measure it out. Packaged pretty nicely. It's got this like really cardboardy eggshell type thing that's all around the thing, so even if the box was dented or damaged, but this one really isn't, that's going to do a pretty nice job of protecting it. I'm not really sure what's a good way to grab onto this thing without the handle being on it, but I just want to make sure there's nothing else in this box. What I'll probably do is end up hanging onto this box for a little while. Maybe even when I'm done using it, after I drain it, keeping it in this box, just so if anything goes wrong, I have the option. And it does look good too if you sell the thing and it's you still got the original package and stuff like that on it. But alright, get this out of the way. Put this back in there. Alright, let's see if I can prop this up on the box so I'm not leaning over as much. So the bottom of the unit, if you can see this, it's got the little rubber feet here. Looks like they're held on. Held on with some kind of, actually they just might pop over. The way the casting is designed, it looks like these things just pop over it. So it's got the little, excuse me, the little rubber feet on there. Your two 120 outlets. DC reset, so you got some kind of reset button on here. DC 12 volts, battery charging only. So this looks like some kind of weird designed plug here. I'm not sure plus and minus. It doesn't look like the plug that they give you for the battery charging, but I don't know. And it looks like they do give you, this is either the throttle or the choke, or if they consider it all the same. And then it looks like an on and off button here. And this looks like, it says indicator on here, so this must light up while it's producing power. And I'm assuming if it's screwed up and it's not producing power, this might not light up. Just guesses until I actually start using it. So they put this big sticker over the top, and it basically says the 40-to-1 fuel ratio, so you don't go just put straight gas in it. 40-to-1. So I guess I was lying. I thought it actually came with like a little bottle of 2-stroke oil, but it doesn't appear that it did come with the oil, so that means always good to have supplies around. So I got some 2-stroke oil here. This is a Briggs & Stratton 2-stroke motor oil. So easy mix. I think I picked this up for an old weed whacker I used to have, but I still got plenty of 2-stroke oil in there, so I can use the measuring cup there, I guess, if that's what's required for the tank to give you a 40-to-1 ratio. But all right, so until I get the fuel, I'll stop the video here. We'll come back when I have the fuel in it and stuff started up and go from there. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so here's a close-up on the ratings of this thing. So you can see here, only information, what it actually can handle and stuff. Do this real quickly so everybody can have this as a general guideline. Alright guys, so we're back. I filled this thing up with fuel. It only has a 1 gallon gas tank on here. So I mixed the oil directly into the unit. Now, probably not a great idea, but I didn't want to go and screw up a whole gas can with a 40-to-1 ratio, fuel ratio with oil in it. So I'll try it this way for now. We'll see. So for 1 gallon, 41 is like 3.2 ounces. So 3.2 ounces goes into a 1 gallon gas tank. So you have to figure out the formula if you're mixing a bigger gas can, like a 5 gallon or something like that. You have to figure out the ratio that way. What I did is I put the oil in first. I made sure that the fuel line was off, so I just didn't have oil trying to run into the motor. Poured the oil into the can, went to the gas station, and then just pumped 1 gallon of fuel into the unit. So that way when the fuel was going in, it was mixing the oil as well as I shook it around a little bit. It does have, when you lift this cap off, it does have a filter in there. Now the filter is a good idea if you're using canned gas. Usually the cans, after a while, they can build crust and stuff in them, and it's not always pure gas, so I would use the filter definitely if you're using gas cans that you have in the garage or something like that. The really old metal ones used to be a lot worse. The plastic ones probably are not as bad nowadays, but they do give you a fuel filter that goes in here as you're pouring the fuel into the motor. I left it in there, but it does make it a pain. You can't fill it up as fast while I was using the pump. Next time I do that, I'll take that filter out of there because it's going to make the filling process a lot quicker versus trying to get through the filter. So with that being said, we're going to start it up. I'm going to try using my angle grinder because that's something there that I definitely got to use, and I want to use an extension cord as well because now it's going to have to push more power through the extension cord before it gets to the angle grinder. I want to make sure that this thing can handle that, as well as the ultimate test is going to be the air compressor, whether or not I can actually fill the air compressor or have power for the air compressor while I'm in my remote location doing this trailer. So we'll get started here. First I'm going to turn the fuel on, which there's a little lever over here on the side. I can spin this around, maybe hone in on it. But this is your little fuel lever here, and this is in the off position right now. I'm going to turn it on, which is straight up and down pretty much. It's not, it doesn't look totally straight on here, but it's in the up and down location. So that's going to be the fuel on. I'm going to shake it around a little bit more just to make sure that my oil is mixed with my fuel. The spark plug is in the back here. So if you ever foul out a plug, it looks like it's easy enough to get at, and I'm probably sure that Walmart or any hardware store will have these spark plugs, maybe. I'm assuming so. So this is basically saying it's your choke. So you got an open position, it says choke in the middle, and then closed. So we'll try it in the middle position first. I'm I'm not sure if this is the power to the unit or the power to shut off the voltage. It says, I don't know, SW engine. I probably should have read the instructions. We'll try it. The negative I'm assuming is off. The circle I'm assuming might be on. So we'll try it with the circle pressed in first versus the negative. I'll try a couple of pulls in this choke position, and then we'll see how that works. Okay. Now I'm trying it with the negative pushed in. What else can I try? Try with the choke open. So it's all the way, choke is all the way to the right and don't choke open. Try with the choke closed. It almost sounds like a little weed whacker. It's not super quiet. You can hear it sputtering. And that's with the choke. So to start it, the choke has to be all the way closed. And on the button with the negative line in the circle, the negative actually has to be pushed. The circle's being like pushed out. It's like a switch, a rocker switch. I'm going to go ahead and plug something in and see what happens. Hear how it revs up when I go to use the power. The motor revs up. I'm thinking that it's not going to handle it. It just seems like it's just barely handling this. I don't know, I could be wrong. This is working full power, but you can hear that thing working.
Hopefully I don't blow it, but that's a 200 PSI air tank. I'm not sure the motor size on it, but I think this thing's going to struggle with it. Let's see what happens. Shop vac now. Trying to let it run itself out of fuel right now. Just shut the fuel lever off. Alright, so you can see it took it a couple of minutes just to run out of fuel, so it is pretty damn good on fuel. Once I put the load on it, it helped it drain the fuel out, I guess, because the motor tries to jack up to compensate the power it's generating. So the shop vac it did, but it struggles with the shop vac. It doesn't feel like I'm getting full suction out of that shop vac. It feels more like, you know, partial. It's still good enough it would actually work. I don't have the filter in that shop vac right now because I was doing water, so that's why it was blowing dust out. But the generator over, well, actually the air compressor, you could see it didn't even want to budge the air compressor, so I'll have to think of a different idea using air tools, which kind of sucks, but I will have to bring some battery operated tools with me then, now knowing that the air compressor don't work with it. But the grinder, that was a big kind of help because I got a lot of cutting to do with cutting wheels over there, so under load I'm definitely not going to get the 8 something hours, but hopefully I'm not at the area for more than a few hours, so I'm thinking with on and off grinding, it definitely should last long enough to get me through the job using the grinder. But yeah, I mean, things like lights and stuff, I'm sure this will probably work for multiple lights and different stuff like that, but when it comes to a big draw like the shop vac, I don't know if that's like a 1/4 horsepower shop vac or something, but I mean, it definitely struggles running the shop vac. I mean, you still could once again do it, but you can hear it bogging down. That thing, everything that you do, you can tell it bogs down on. It's just the way you feel the motor inside the things turn it on, and they seem like they turn on slower and then gradually come to speed. But for 200 bucks, I don't know, probably can't complain. I mean, if you're doing small little like outings and stuff and you want to run some lights or whatever, if you don't want to run battery charger. To me, honestly, some of those battery charge things actually came a long way, so they last a while. Would I want to listen to this all night long if I was trying to relax? No. I mean, you probably would have to run a big extension cable, because basically it's a two-stroke motor, so there's no two-stroke motors that I know of that are actually quiet, so you're definitely going to get a noise from a two-stroke motor, but in any case, it does work, so I am happy about that. I don't really care about the noise because I'm going to be using an angle grinder anyways and banging on stuff, trying to get bunks off a trailer, so it should work out for my thing, what I'm going to use it for. But if you guys are thinking about using this for other stuff, I mean, to me it's a little noisy. The power seems to be lacking some, though I didn't really plug in a ton of stuff into it. I was just using one outlet. Now if you use multiple outlets and you're trying to draw multiple things at the same time, I'm sure it's going to struggle, but who knows? And I don't even know how long this thing's going to last, to be honest with you. I'm not really expecting much for $200, but it's sad to say that's what it's become nowadays, that you spend $200 and you really don't expect much from buying a $200 item. But it works. At the end of the day, it works. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, when I do the trailer, I'm going to record that as well, the process of me working on the trailer. But this review is basically just for this open box and to test out a couple of things with it and see if it works. And it does work. So all right, guys, any questions, leave them in the comments. But other than that, stay safe out there. Talk to you soon. Bye.